everyone, I'm Christine and I run this YouTube channel called The Back Road where I explore modern American country music. And I'm so excited to be here today with my good friend Amber. She is my first featured guest ever, and we're going to be talking about the new Luke Combs album, What You See Is What You Get. Amber and I met through work, and one of our very first conversations was, what did I say?
Well, my fun fact is that I grew up on an almond farm, and so Tina immediately assumed, since I grew up on a farm, that I loved country music, and she was 100% correct.
Right.
So she came up to my desk and said, by chance, do you like country music, and would you want to go to this Willie Nelson concert with me? To which I replied instantly, hell yeah! Hell yeah. I want to go to this Willie Nelson
So it was
concert.
actually Casey Musgraves and Willie Nelson concert.
And I am the biggest Casey Musgraves fan. And this was back before her new album. She even played some of the newer songs from her album at that show, which was like a really fun little sneak peek for us. So that's where we first bonded.
Yeah, and then we went to a Jason Aldean concert together.
And that's when Tina realized how crazy I really was about country music. I think I danced the entire time. And we went to Kenny Chesney.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
And we go line dancing. So we do all kinds of country activities together.
Yeah, so Amber, what is your history with country music?
Well, I did grow up on a farm, so for the longest time, probably until I was about 12, I didn't know that there was any other kind of music other than country, because CMT was on in my house 24/7. That's like all we watched. So I used to think Billy Ray Cyrus was my boyfriend. I would dance around the house to Reba McEntire and Toby Keith and Garth Brooks and, Billy Ray. Like, it was just, that was my life. I would do all these choreographed dance to LeAnn Rimes songs. I was a big LeAnn Rimes fan. I still am. I still think she's great, and I don't know why she's not releasing music anymore. It upsets me, but I've always been a country music fan and grew up country. I was an agriculture major in college for the first 3 years of my college career. And then I turned into a comm major, but a lot of my friends, still live back home, live on farms, work on farms. So I resonate with country music very deeply. A lot of the songs I hear makes me think of my family, it makes me think of my friends, and it reminds me of where I'm from. Really deeply.
That's beautiful.
Thanks.
Yeah, because I feel like I came to country music from a very different angle. Like, I'm definitely not a country person. I grew up in the suburbs of a city, and I've never
careful to give out too much information.
And I've never worked on a farm or.
Well, you can come to our farm.
I would love to.
I'm sure my dad would love some help.
Next I've always liked country music because I felt this sort of nostalgia for a life I've never had, if that makes any sense.
That's so interesting, because it's so funny you say that, because I felt the same way about punk rock. So I was really into punk pop, punk rock as a kid. I loved Blink-182, Sum 41, probably my teenage years when I went to high school. And I kind of rebelled against country music, thinking that's not what the cool kids are doing. The cool kids like this punk rock, like Blink-182, who I still love today, and I love all kinds of music. But that's what I wanted.
Yeah, and I feel like that's really natural, because when you're a teenager, you kind of want to develop your own personality outside of your parents, and you probably associated it with your parents.
Totally. And now that I'm, it's funny because I moved to San Diego, and then I never craved a honky tonk more than when I moved to San Diego. And thankfully, there's a big country scene in San Diego, so I found a good group of friends who also loved country music. Julie and Erica and Jackie and Alyssa, if you're listening.
Or watching.
Or watching.
Hello.
Sorry, I'm used to podcasting.
Oh yeah, I wanted to mention, so Amber does a podcast with her friend Alex called How Did I Get Here?
Yes.
And I've actually had the pleasure of being a featured guest on one of the podcast episodes where I talk about
what's it called? Boots
from
to
books to
boots.
boots. About how I got to where I am and like my childhood and my upbringing. So I'm gonna link that down below, and you should totally go check it out, and also listen to the rest of Amber's podcast.
Subscribe if you like what you hear. We don't talk about country music too much, but we do. I mean, that is part of who I am.
Mm-hmm.
I've never really fit in anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm always kind of the city girl with my friends who are country. I think I'm weird because I moved to the city.
Mm-hmm.
I work in technology.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I have different viewpoints than them on certain things.
Yeah.
And then my tech friends that I work with are like, you're such a hillbilly.
Mm-hmm.
So I never really fit in anywhere, but I also like to think I get the best of both worlds that way.
All right, so let's talk about Luke Combs. It's funny, like, I didn't know that you listened to Luke Combs, but Amber, like, teams to me.
Yeah. I've never been more proud of you, Tina.
We're at our company, we're like adopting this thing called Microsoft Teams. It's like a work chat, and was like, I'm listening to Luke Combs right now, it's so good. And I'm like, oh my god, I was like totally gonna do a video on it. Do you want to be in my video?
And
so
here we are.
So what are your thoughts on Luke Combs?
Well, I will be honest, I really love the traditional country.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So a lot of the newer stuff I don't listen to as much. Mm-hmm. But my sister, so I just went to Nashville in June of this year, so like almost 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And my sister is obsessed with that song. The song about the long neck, ice cold beer. And I think she played that song on repeat for the entire 6 days that we were there.
Gosh.
God bless you, Katie, but I was like, this song is great. I loved it.
It's so catchy. It's like stuck in my head right now. Like I can't get it out.
It's so good. And that was really the first time I'm like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
Like, this song is fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Did you know he's like the biggest thing in country music right now? It's like
I believe it. I
Yeah.
mean, for me, like listening to a lot of his songs, it reminds me of the country I used to listen to in the 90s.
Yeah.
So he's got that classic sound, and his lyrics are really powerful in the same way that they were in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
So I love it. I can see why he's so hot.
Yeah. So I was thinking about this, and
Totally.
if Luke Combs was like an ice cream flavor, he would be vanilla.
Really?
Not in like a bad way. I think vanilla is a wonderful ice cream flavor that appeals to everyone.
Sure.
And I think that's like the magic of Luke Combs, because he's gonna appeal to people who like older country as well as newer country.
Yeah, he's kind of a perfect blend.
Yes.
I get that. It's interesting because I think what I like about him the most is that his lyrics are very sincere. Mm-hmm. Whereas, like, as much as I love Luke Bryan, and I will dance in the back of the pickup truck for Luke Bryan any damn day, but, you know, a lot of his songs are, like, just that, talking about girls in short shorts.
Really shallow.
Yeah, it's kind of like, that's not the country that I grew up on. Like, George Strait would never sing a song like that, but George Strait would sing a song that Luke Combs puts out, and that, I think, is what I love.
I do think he has a very authentic vibe. Like, he seems like a really approachable guy who, he's like, this is my truth. I feel like he just has this like really relatable quality where he's not trying to be like this superstar that is above everyone else. He's like, I'm just like the rest of you.
I love that.
Yeah.
Thanks, Luke. I mean, yeah, Luke.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, did I get confused? I was thinking of Luke Bryan.
There's a lot of Lukes.
Why are there so many?
Weren't you dating a Luke?
My ex-boyfriend's name's Luke. I'm surrounded by Lukes. Shall we go into some of these songs?
Yeah,
and,
let's go into this
digest
album.
them a little bit.
What You See Is What You Get is the name of the album.
Also known as WYSIWYG in the marketing world.
Really?
When I first saw the title,
gosh, that's hilarious.
So in marketing, so I work in marketing. That's how I met Tina. When you're building a website, there's like different ways you can build them, and WYSIWYG is one of them.
Oh my gosh.
And it means like literally as you're building it, what you see is what you get. It's my favorite way to build a website. And so when he named it this, I was like, oh, that's so funny, WYSIWYG.
Let's just call it WYSIWYG.
WYSIWYG for short. What you see is what you get.
So the first song is called "You Never Broke My Heart," and this is definitely probably the first song I heard.
Me too.
Because it came out like a while back.
Back in June.
And it's so catchy.
It's so great.
I know. It's like the perfect way to start the album. It just comes in like so bold and strong, and just that chorus, like long neck, ice cold beer, is so fun to sing along to.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who wouldn't sing along to that?
It just makes you want to like move your body too.
Mm-hmm.
And how true is it though?
It's a really simple message. Like, beer is just the only thing you can really count on. But he gives all these like really interesting examples of things that have broken his heart. You know what's interesting about this song to me is that if you listen to just the lyrics, it's pretty sad. Like all the bad things that have happened to him.
Yeah.
But it's such a happy sounding song.
You're right.
Yeah.
I didn't think about it like that.
Yeah. He's like, oh my god, like the girl left me, my truck broke down. It sounds like such a stereotypical country song.
Yeah, that's
He's like
so
listing
true.
all of these terrible, tragic situations, but then it feels like such a happy song.
It's just a testament to life. Also, like even though like sometimes bad things happen, you still have a reason to celebrate because the beer's still cold. Life's all right. You know, like it's all gonna be okay.
Cheers.
Cheers to that.
Though you're not drinking beer.
Sorry.
It's okay.
This is whiskey, not champagne, which it kind of looks like.
All right, let's talk about Refrigerator Door. What a unique concept for a song.
I mean, typical country music though, you take something that's so basic that you would not think to ever write a song about, and yet that song just gave me goosebumps because it's so nostalgic for me. I'm literally imagining not the refrigerator door, but as he's singing those words, I'm thinking of the picture that my dad has in the shop of him and his dad next to his GTO back before I was born.
I don't know what a GTO is.
It's a fancy car.
Oh, cool.
It's a really nice old car. But like he talks about like his dad on the John Deere tractor, his very first tractor. It's like something about country songs just like paint a picture in my mind of like my life. Like I'm able to relate it to all these different things. It's just so cool.
It's beautiful.
I love it.
I also just love the concept of how, like, when you look at someone's refrigerator door, you can really get this whole story of their life and all of their most important memories. Because, I mean, my refrigerator door growing up did have, like, all these memories and, like, places we had traveled to. Like, we would visit national parks and get a magnet from everyone and put that on the fridge. So you get to see everywhere we went to on vacation, and there'd be, like, little pieces of art that my brother and I made in elementary school. So
those little things are important.
Yeah.
Like, he wrote an entire song calling it out.
I think it's just like such a good icebreaker question too. Like, what's on your refrigerator door?
Yeah, tell us.
Yeah, tell us in the comments. I would actually genuinely be interested in knowing what's on your guys' refrigerator door. Next song, Even Though I'm Leaving.
Oh. This song is emotional.
I cried this morning listening to this song. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, like we don't even have to play it for me to remember how emotional it is because it stuck with me.
Yeah.
Especially, so it was really sad. Like the first verse is really sad because he's like a little boy and he's scared in his bed. But the second verse is the one that really got me. It's just like, always military stories always get me.
Yeah.
Because it's so hard and it's so painful and you have to feel, like I'm sure like these guys who are in the military feel like they have to be so strong. But at the same time, it's like, they're just human beings too, and it's really hard to leave your family for that long. Mm-hmm. And so I don't know, I get sad when I think about it.
That's actually when I started tearing up, and then you get to the third verse.
Okay, so I remember the first time I heard this song, I instantly thought of my dad and my papa, his dad. And it was the same situation. He was in the hospital bed, he couldn't speak, he had a stroke. And it was like, you know, it was like a hard conversation. He could still like squeeze my dad's hand, and my dad had to ask him, you know, if you don't want to be on this machine anymore, squeeze my hand twice. And he squeezed his hand twice. And that's like, they didn't have that same conversation, but the way that Luke wrote it. Did he write the song? I don't know. I don't know
I think
if
he
the
wrote
song.
most of them along with other people.
But anyways, even the way the story is told, it just like, it brought all of that back to me, and I'm like, wow, like it's so powerful of like a father and son bonding relationship, and how like it's okay for men to feel sensitive too, was another big theme from this song.
Yeah. I love when men are vulnerable.
Me too. And maybe that's why like we cry too, because we don't hear it so much like from men. So it's nice.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, the song is beautiful. It's probably one of my favorites. I like how there's like a random knife sticking out right here.
It's from our cheese board that I made, Tina.
It's beautiful.
Can't have.
And there's
Also
a
crystals.
salt crystal.
This is selenite.
How? What does it do?
It just, amplifies positive energy in the space.
Alright, so next song is Lovin' on You, which I think is just a really, really fun, like, party, honky-tonk, danceable song. I love how he has all of this, like, country imagery. Something about this album that definitely stood out to me is just, like, how country it is. Like, you can't debate that it's not country. Like, it's super, super country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing I like about this song is he always says in the verses, he says, I like this, I like that. I like a couple other things, but I'm in love with Lovin' on You.
Right, it is
So,
actually a love song. I forgot about that.
It's a love song, and he's distinctly mentioning that, like, I like these things, but I am in love with loving on you. It's really cute. It's sweet.
Moon over Mexico.
Moon over Mexico. I mean, I've never been to Mexico,
Me neither.
but I love the
Actually,
moon.
I've been to Tijuana.
You have?
Like, my family drove there for like 30 minutes and then drove back, and we were like, we went to Mexico, but we didn't really do anything. I did not have the Moon over Mexico experience.
It kind of like gave me Kenny Chesney vibes.
Yeah, because
Like,
he
I
sings
feel-
about Mexico a lot.
I feel like this is a song Kenny would sing.
And beaches.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I kind of like, I felt Kenny vibes when I was listening to it at first.
I feel like he really takes you there to that night he had in Mexico, I guess with a lover that he's like reflecting back on, right?
Yeah, totally. It's just
And
funny.
it's just like really visceral. Like, there's a lot of really descriptive imagery, like the sand and the wind and the moon, and yeah,
It's a beautiful song.
another love song.
Who are all these lovers, Luke?
I know, right?
Is it one woman? Because isn't he married now?
Yeah.
Is this all like his
Actually,
lady?
I think he's engaged.
Oh, he's engaged.
Oh my gosh, he told the cutest story on Sirius XM. I was listening to The Highway, and they were doing like a live show of Luke Combs in San Diego, and he was telling the story of how he met his fiance. And he like wrote the song Beautiful Crazy about her. You know that song?
That's a beautiful song.
But when he wrote it, they were still friends, and he was like really scared to ask her out and play her the song because if she said no, then he wouldn't be able to see her anymore.
That is
Because he wanted to just like
crazy
be
thing.
friends with her and like have her in his life.
How scary to be so close with someone and be so afraid that you're gonna lose him forever if you try to make a move.
Yeah.
Good for you, Luke.
Yeah.
You're so brave. It worked out for you. Dang.
I like how you're talking to him.
I feel like he's gonna watch this, so I feel like I need to talk to him.
All right, let's talk about One Too Many. Amber's
My favorite song on the album. I heard this song. Okay, I heard the song without looking at it, like, because you see it on Spotify or wherever, and you see that like Brooks and Dunn are on it. When I heard Brooks and Dunn come on, I almost lost my mind. Because when I first heard the song, I'm like, oh my god, this is a Brooks and Dunn song from my childhood. And Ronnie singing on it is so powerful. And then at the end, Kix is like, now that's a country song. And I'm like, damn right, that's a country song. That's the best country song I ever heard. So I love this song.
The song is really, really fun.
My favorite line in the song is when he says, at 10:30, I'm half past tipsy. It's just it's so clever and so funny.
It's really clever. I love just like the end of the chorus, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 too many. Isn't that already really clever?
It's so good. It's so catchy. I guarantee you that is in the next like hit.
I feel
record.
like all of these songs are the next hit.
I
Like
think
they're
this
all
one-
they're all hit worthy.
But this one will be on the radio.
Mhm.
This is a good country song. Like, it's up there with one of my favorites for sure.
Blue Collar Boys.
Oh my gosh, I love that song too.
So you said you had like a personal connection with this song as well.
Yeah.
Since you grew up in the country.
Yeah, it's very descriptive, and he's very much like describing these people he grew up with. And to me, it felt like it was my story of the boys that I grew up with, some of my best friends who are very much blue collar boys. My dad, my grandpa were also blue collar boys. So for me, it just like resonated. Like, these are really good guys. They'll give you the shirt off their back. They're the best friend like you'll ever have. It's a great song. I love it.
I really like it too. And I like how inclusive it is because he says from Carolina to California to Illinois. It's like we're all blue collar boys together in this together. But I also like how it's not hating on the city people at all. Because there are country songs like that. Like, I don't know. Like,
Right, Jason Aldean has a couple where it's not like hating, but it's almost kind of like condescending.
yeah, and there's none of that at all. It's like, this is us, this is our story, and we're proud of it. All right, the next song is New Every Day. A very happy breakup song.
It's so true too. I was listening to it, and I'm recently have broken up with a partner, and it resonated with me. He has a couple breakup songs.
So
in
the
a
next
row.
3 songs are all really happy sounding breakup songs.
and they're all pretty similar.
Yeah, they are. But they're all so good and so catchy.
And this one's really about growing.
Mm-hmm.
It's about learning lessons from the past and growing and becoming better. It is happy, but it's if you listen to the lyrics, it's a little sad.
Yeah. And I like those. I like that like juxtaposition.
Yeah, like a deeper meaning
Mm-hmm.
behind the happy tune.
The next song is called Reasons.
This song was interesting because he talks about all of the unexplained things and rules in life, like why can't I have a beer at my college football game? And you know, all these different rules. It's like, I guess they have their reasons, just like you have your reasons for ending the relationship with me. Which is super sad, but it's also him kind of coming to a realization that everything happens for a reason and kind of accepting that.
Yeah, it's like accepting that there's a lot of things we don't know, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Everyone has their own reasons for things.
Which sometimes is the hardest part of a breakup. Is like, you sometimes you never know why, but sometimes things just don't work out and you have to accept that and move on. And there's a lot of things in life like that too, but this song specifically is about a breakup, so.
But it does sound really happy.
You're right, it's like a super upbeat tune. So
Yeah.
he has a unique way of taking painful things in his life and spinning it to making it sound fun.
Yeah.
That's probably really not fun for him.
Yeah. And what I really like about this song is that it switches between kind of him observing the external world in the verses to him reflecting on his internal world in the chorus.
Oh, that's a good point.
All right, the next song is called Every Little Bit Helps, our third breakup song.
Another breakup song. But this one, in the song, you can really feel like he's coming out of it. He's like, had this realization and starting to understand, and he's like coming out on the good side of things.
Yeah, he's on this like growth trajectory.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, and he's like, no, I'm not okay right now, but I am moving in the right direction. Every little bit helps.
Every little bit helps. I hear that.
The next song is Dear Today, probably my favorite song on this album. I think it's a really unique concept for a song where he's tomorrow writing a letter to today, like his future self is speaking to his present self, and the song is structured sort of like a sandwich or an Oreo, where it starts out like really slow and acoustic, and then suddenly it builds up to this really bold, loud section, and then it goes back into the acoustic sound at the very end, and it's super reflective and super personal, and I really like it because I feel like I do this to myself a lot. Like if I don't know, like if I'm experiencing something in the present that's really stressing me out, I'll put it into perspective and be like, in a year from now or in 5 years from now, this won't matter at all. And I kind of think like, what would my future self say?
That's such a good point. I think it's also a really good reminder for me. It was like a good reminder to be the best version of yourself today. Mm-hmm. Like, call your mom, call your grandma. Yeah. Like, take better care of yourself.
Yeah.
You know, things that your future self would say to you. It's really just like taking the time to sit down and be grateful for what you have and appreciate the moment you're in.
Mm-hmm. The next song is the title track. AKA,
what you see is what you get.
What you see is what you get.
AKA
WYSIWYG. And this song, I feel like, is Luke Combs' like giant thesis statement of I'm not perfect, but I am honest and authentic, and this is who I am.
It's like an epiphany too. He's coming out of these 3 really heavy songs. I mean, they seem light if you listen to them, but the lyrics are pretty heavy. He's going through some hard times, and he's coming out of it like, hey, this is me. What you see is what you get. Take it or leave it. This is who I am. And that's really powerful.
Yeah,
coming out of a breakup.
I really relate to this song a lot because it's just about being authentic to yourself. I was listening to it and I was like, oh, I do all of those things.
It's so true. Straight shooting and beer drinking. That's Tina.
Oh, by the way, I go by Tina.
Oh, sorry.
My official name is Christine, but I also go by Tina.
At work, only because when she was first hired, there was another Christine.
Yeah.
So we had to give her a nickname, and it stuck. And so I will call her Tina from time to time among her other friends who are like, who the heck is Tina?
Yeah, I would say like 50% of people in my life call me Christine and 50% call me Tina. So I'm just like this weird, like, split.
Can we just call you Christina?
I've actually gone by that too. Like, I respond to that because it's just a conversation. The next song is called Does to Me, which,
Eric Church.
Yes, I absolutely love Eric Church. I actually saw him in concert like last month.
I've never seen him.
And it's amazing. He's one of my favorite artists. I don't know, I just really like him. And
he's got this like weird, whispery voice and tone that is like
dark.
You kind of have to like listen harder to him, and it is incredibly engaging, and I love everything about it.
I would say it's kind of related to the previous song,
WYSIWYG,
where he's just like, I am just an average guy, but I'm proud of it, and I'm proud of the life that I have.
He says, I'm a hell of a lover, a damn good brother, an underachieving average Joe. So he recognizes that, hey, he's just like everyone else, but I'm a good lover, I'm a good brother. Like, it's super, I don't know, for me, it reminded me of people back home. For real. Like, all of my friends, even my dad, like, just a normal guy, but like such a good person.
And he says, like, even if it doesn't mean much to you, it does mean a lot to me. And I think that's really powerful. Like, the things that are important to you in life really matter to you, and that's all that matters. The next song is Angels Working Overtime.
Oh, I did. Okay, so we had to re-listen to this song, and I actually remembered how much I loved it the first time I heard it. It's basically like, he's a really good guy, but he's raising hell. And so his mama has to pray for him, and his angels are working overtime because he's kind of going through a phase in his life where he might be causing a little trouble, even though he's a good guy.
He's like, I'm rough and rowdy. But I'll be okay. I'll be fine because my angels are looking out for me.
Which I've gone through those phases of my life too, where, you know, I'm a good person, but sometimes you have a rowdy time every once in a while, And it's just a phase, and you get over it, and then you ground yourself again.
Mm-hmm. And the song is also just like a really fun, like honky tonky song.
Totally. It's like one of those country songs I used to listen to as a kid and dance around the living room too.
Mm-hmm. I want to dance around in the living room to this song right now. So the next song is called All Over Again, which probably is my least favorite song because it's just the most poppy and it's very generic and kind of boring. Like in terms of the story, it's just like, I don't know, it's about reuniting with a past love.
Okay.
But like we
So
shouldn't really be together, but we're just doing it all over again.
Haven't we all been there? I mean, cheers to that. No, I remember when I first heard the song, I'm like, wait, this sounds like a Jason Aldean
It does.
song.
It does sound like Jason.
So I'm not like it didn't really spark.
It's like
a
the
memory.
most bro country song. Have you ever heard that term?
Bro country.
So like Jason Aldean, Luke Bryan, Florida Georgia Line, like
bro country.
really popular during like the early 2010s, I guess.
The early 10s.
Can you believe it's almost the 2020s?
No.
Like in a few months.
Yeah, I mean, this song didn't leave that much of an impression on me.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like his studio made him produce this song. I don't really know. Luke, if you're listening, can you let us know?
Let us know. The penultimate song is called Nothing Like You, and it's a really beautiful love song, and I really like it because he's on this airplane kind of like looking out the window at all of these beautiful sights, but he's saying like none of these beautiful things are as beautiful as you.
Yeah, it's really cute, and we just pulled it up on Spotify, and the video in the background when you listen to the song is a video clip of him and his fiance. And it's of them like laughing and having a good time. So it's definitely like him coming out of this breakup and coming to this like comfortable place with himself and then falling back in love, which is a really beautiful thing.
Yeah, so speaking of Jason Aldean, he has a song called Flyover States, and this song kind of reminded me of that, but if it were made into a love story.
Oh my god, that's a great point. I never thought of that.
Yeah, because he talks about how he's like on an airplane, like looking out the window. Actually, before I started a YouTube channel, I had a blog for 2 years, and I wrote an article on like country songs about airplanes.
There's so many.
Yeah, there's a lot, but I was comparing Flyover States by Jason Aldean, 747 by Lady Antebellum, and Drunk on a Plane by Dierks Bentley. But if I were to do it today, I would probably include
add
this
this
song.
one.
Yeah.
There's a lot about planes.
Yeah.
Like one of my favorite George Strait songs, Lana Del Rey, is about planes.
Oh.
Have you heard that song?
I have not.
So homework.
Amber has been
listen
kind
to
of
that
educating me on older country.
I haven't.
That's been great.
We should share the Spotify playlist.
We should, yeah.
When I first met Tina, I created an entire Spotify playlist called Enlighten Tina about classic country. And it's all of my favorite songs from the 90s. Country songs from the 90s. So if you're new to country too, and you want to know my favorite songs from when I was a kid, you can listen to this playlist.
Yeah, I'll link it down below.
Yeah.
And because I didn't discover country until probably like 2010. So I was just listening to what was on the radio. So there's just this whole new world being opened up to me.
A whole new world.
The final song is called Better Together.
Oh, it's so sweet.
What a beautiful song. It's slow and acoustic but feels really beautiful and sincere.
Yeah.
I love the line like Sunday drives and time to kill.
He talks about like even sunrise and your morning coffee, like all the things
like two things that go well together.
And it's a love song about him and his fiance. And I imagine like this would be the song they would dance to on their wedding. This was my first thought when I heard it, because it's like all of these things that go good together. You and I are just another one of them.
Yeah, I've heard that this is gonna be like a really big wedding song.
Oh, that makes my god, that makes perfect sense. It rounds out the whole like journey of this album really.
Oh,
well,
it does.
too.
Yeah.
You know, it gives it a happy ending. It makes you feel really good. It's almost like you kind of like you peak with it almost. You know, it's kind of like it's a whole flow.
Yeah, we have introspective songs. We have songs about breakups in the middle. We have songs about family. We have songs about refrigerator doors.
But there are songs about reflection.
Yeah.
And memories and family.
And then you just have some really fun drinking songs as well.
One Too Many, my favorite song still to this day.
Yeah, that wraps up this album. Thank you so much, Amber, for being in this video.
Oh my gosh, thank you for having me on your show.
Yeah, it's been awesome.
And I
discussing this with someone else and not just talking to a camera by myself at home.
Yeah, and you're so, thank you so much for doing this. It's great to have someone who loves country music as much as I do. And it's so funny that our backgrounds are so different, but yet we're so aligned on the types of things that we love. So
yeah,
I love that. And I think it's really funny, tonight are the Country Music Awards.
Oh my gosh.
Did you know that?
I didn't, but I'm going to watch them. ASAP.
Yeah, go home and watch them. And Willie Nelson and Kesey Musgraves are performing tonight.
Oh my god.
I'm so excited, but I think it's so funny because the first time Tina and I bonded was when Willie Nelson and Kesey Musgraves performed together.
That's the first time we hung out.
And now they're performing again tonight, and here we are.
It was meant to be.
It's been an
really
absolute
good
pleasure. Thank you for having me.
All right. See you guys later.